I know the year has just begun, and we still got many more games coming out. Stuff like Resident Evil 4, Breath of the Wild 2, and but already we have an easy Game of the Year nomination in Hi-Fi Rush. It's a rhythm beat 'em up containing some of the best music in gaming with an even greater story and gameplay. Just like the game, I'll keep this short and simple. It's a masterpiece. Not just in the game itself, but also the price point. It's $30. Games like this nowadays will cost $60, and there's a whole other debate about how not all $60 games are worth the price. It's not a super long game, but $30 for an amazing experience like this is totally worth the buy. Now, onto the game itself, what makes it so great? It feels like it has heart and soul in an industry that's becoming soulless. Everything about the game has so much care put into it. Just look at how Hi-Fi Rush introduces the player into the gameplay.
An error has occurred. Please proceed to the checkpoint.
Okay, checkpoint. Where's that? Don't worry. Probably no big deal.
Look at how many of the elements in the environment move with the beat of the song. It's insane the level of detail put into just the background of a video game. When fighting, you deal more damage if you can tap the attacks to the beat correctly, and it helps when you have so much visual aid to be able to sync with the beat. Speaking of fighting, it's kind of the whole purpose of the game. You platform throughout the level and will end up in forced fights, which the game refers to as choruses. The combat really challenges you in this game. Having multiple enemies to deal with, dodging their attacks, or parrying, which is high risk, high reward, and being able to identify who you deem is going to be the most troublesome to deal with first. The main boss battles are also incredibly fun and unique. Battling Korsica is really just being able to correctly hit the buttons on beat to wear her down. Fighting against Josuke is a barrage of battles to force him to use all the budget, which acts as a health bar. It's incredibly fun, but I think it's just a part of what makes the game great.
I'm here, baby.
The other part is the characters and story. It's not absolutely world-changing or incredibly unique. Well, you could say it's unique because of how the approach to it is simplistic, where games nowadays tend to go over the top. The story itself revolves around Chai and Peppermint discovering Spectra, which is a program that will control the mind of the masses. They plan to put a stop to it, and in order to do it, they must get all 6 passcodes from the 6 major bosses of the Vandelay Corporation. On the way, they ally with a few who used to and currently work for Vandelay in Macaron, Cinnamon, and Korsica. The story isn't grand, but it's how consistent it is throughout the game. No filler, just straight action and continuation of the plot. I adore how the story itself doesn't have to explain every little thing that is going on, and how it even doesn't take itself 100% serious all the time. Like, how does Chai's MP3 player fusing with him end up giving him such strength? It's not explained. You just go along with it and continue the fun. The dialogue is hilarious, sometimes breaking the fourth wall, and even the enemies of the game making some funny remarks. We got characters like Zanzo, which I would assume would be every weeb's favorite character. Dude's name sounds like Danzo, he poses like a JoJo's character, and his design is so over the top in comparison to every other boss. The characters are also amazing in their own way. Chai starts off being arrogant and hot-headed, typically going about things his way and finding trouble at every step of the path. But by the end, he's matured drastically. He understands just how many times he made mistakes and wants to rectify his troublesome nature by stepping up to the plate as a leader and friend. By the end of the game, he calms down the minds of Macaron, Korsica, Cinnamon, and Peppermint as they were stressing before the final showdown. Chai is amazing, but the whole crew coming together as one is beautiful. to how the environment and areas look, the background music having some original compositions while also including old gems, the combat being very simplistic in nature while also having depth in how you utilize it, and so much more is why Hi-Fi Rush is currently my favorite game.